Look around the world today. Does it feel like the world is on fire? Wars are back, tariffs are back, power politics is back. For decades after World War II, liberalism promised something bold. It wasn't perfect, but it provided rules. You don't invade your neighbors. You trade goods, not bullets. You solve problems in boring rooms in Geneva, not on the battlefield. And for a long time, it worked. But today, that playbook is being shredded. We're seeing the return of power and realism, the weaponization of the economy, and leaders who treat geography like a game of Monopoly. So here's the big question. Is liberalism dead? And if it is, are you ready for what comes next? First, pause. Put down the pitchforks. When international relations nerds say liberalism, we aren't talking about domestic politics, left-wing versus right-wing, or tax rates. In IR, liberalism is the idea that the world isn't just a chaotic mosh pit where the strong eat the weak. It's the belief that cooperation is possible and actually rational. It goes back to guys like Immanuel Kant and John Locke. They looked at the endless wars of kings and queens and thought, hey, maybe if we have rules, institutions, and trade, we won't have to kill each other constantly. The logic is simple. If country A sells microchips to country B, and country B sells oil to country A, they probably won't go to war. Why? Because war is bad for business. This creates interdependence. You build institutions like the UN or the WTO to act as referees. You create a world where right makes might, rather than might makes right. And for a while, this actually worked. After the horrors of World War II, the world, led largely by the United States, built an architecture of liberalism. We got the United Nations. We got the World Trade Organization. We saw the European Union turn a continent soaked in blood into a free trade zone. Extreme poverty plummeted. Great power wars, the kind that kill millions, basically vanished. Democracy spread. It wasn't a kumbaya fantasy. It was a calculated strategy. The bet was that if everyone played by the same rules, everyone would get richer and safer. But every golden age has an expiration date. Welcome to the 2020s, the era where the rules act more like suggestions. Liberalism is currently getting punched in the face by its old arch-nemesis, realism. Realism says there are no referees. The only thing that matters is power. And lately, realism is winning. Look at the economy. Tariffs used to be a tool for balance. Now there are weapons. We aren't trading for mutual benefit. We're strangling supply chains to hurt the other guy. That is classic realist zero-sum thinking. Look at the behavior of great powers. We've seen the US float the idea of buying Greenland, treating a sovereign territory like a real estate listing. We've seen unilateral military action to capture heads of state like Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, bypassing diplomatic channels entirely. We see invasions in Europe where international law is treated like a joke. The message is clear. I'm big, you're small, I do what I want. The institutions? They're gridlocked. The trust? It's gone. So here's the big question. Liberalism is dead, right? Not so fast. On the contrary, liberalism is the only way we survived this century. Liberalism was never meant to eliminate power politics, it was meant to manage it. Even today, trade still constrains behavior. Institutions still shape expectations. Norms still matter, especially for smaller and middle powers. When rules exist, violations carry reputational and economic costs. When institutions exist, coordination becomes possible. When cooperation exists, conflict becomes harder. Not impossible, but harder. Liberalism hasn't disappeared. It's operating under pressure. Liberalism isn't being naive. It's being pragmatic. It is the realization that in a hyper-connected world, going it alone is suicide. We need the World Health Organization. We need climate accords. We need rules of the road for AI in space. Liberalism is definitely in the ICU right now. It's bruised, it's failing in many ways, and it needs a serious software update. But the alternative, a world of pure power politics, where the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must, isn't a strategy for the future. It's a history lesson we've already learned the hard way. So don't give up on liberalism just yet, because the game is a lot scarier without them. Thanks for watching. If you like IR Explainer videos, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.